to the Countdown to Podcast. That's our
Welcome.
first episode, pilot.
1.
Well, you don't really have pilot 2.
True.
So I guess
Episode
it'd be
1.
episode 1,
Son.
pilot. Yeah.
I'm Leighton.
I'm Drew, and you'll
We're
notice we share the same last names because we're married. No, we're not.
Right. That's
Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah.
Again, my name's Drew. I am this guy's older brother and best brother. No, older brother. Let's just keep it at that. I'm 46. I'm married 20 years. Have an 8-year-old. I live up in Washington State. And this is my story.
Cool.
What about you?
I'm Leighton. I'm your youngest brother.
Yes.
32.
Child.
I act like it. I have an amazing girlfriend. I live in Northern California, our hometown of Kelseyville. And this is our story.
I wanted to bust out into "This is our song, praising our Savior." So we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
We've wanted to do a podcast for a while. I think that both of us have been in the mindset of like, okay, we're not ready. We're not quite there yet. And I wrestled with this for a bit because it was like, okay, when am I ready? Is it when I'm like super buff? Because it is centered around, changing our directions.
Mm-hmm.
And so is it like, we've made it. And I think for myself, and I'll let you, or you can share your thoughts as well on why for you. But I think for myself, it's like not necessarily like, oh, I'm like this meathead now, super buff, healthy as can be. We've wanted to do a journey podcast, one that's like, hey, this is where we were, this is where we're going. We haven't arrived yet. And we want to bring people along because I think too often, at least for me, when I first started getting really into exercising about 3 years ago, it was very much like you Google things and it's like these gym rats that never leave the gym. Their full-time job is this.
Mm-hmm.
And they were prior athletes or, always gym people. And the body responds different when you've never been an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you grew up like going, playing football or being an athlete in high school and stuff like that, and you got away from it, it's a lot easier to come back to a workout or a fitness level because your body's like, oh, I know what that was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But for my story, like, man, I skated through high school. I did not skate.
Roller skates?
Yeah, no. I didn't do anything in high school. I played sports, but like not, it was a joke. And I just didn't really find my sport. And nor did I have the discipline or the drive or any of that nature. And so coming now where I'm at is like, the last 3 years, it's like, okay, I'm building who I am and my core and my body to this new me, which is hard because you're fighting the old you, right? The lazier you, or the comfortable, I should say. And so for me, this is what this podcast is about: is to for those like who are just like me, where it's like, man, I'm in my 40s. I'm not bouncing back anymore. I can't wrestle with my kid. It's hard to get on the ground. I ache. Pre-diabetic. I'm not, but other people at this age are. I need transition and change, but all these talking heads, I can't relate to.
Yeah. Totally.
And so that's kind of my stance. I want people to come along and feel comfortable and be okay with their body types and their, challenges that they face and not be ashamed, not be, embarrassed or whatnot.
Yeah. No, that's great. When we're talking about muscle memory, it's just like, we need to have muscle in the first place to bring back. And yeah, like we were saying, we were never really athletes. Like I grew up skating, actually skating. No, t-ball, sure, but no like sports. Then skating turned into BMX,
Skateboarding.
skateboarding.
Skating sounds like you're a roller
From your
skate or
generation, yeah.
that's fair. Okay, that's fair.
and and then everything's been kind of bike focused, and then that turned into mountain biking when I moved up the Pacific Northwest, up where you live, and so we really got into riding. But yeah, same thing. There's so much misinformation. Not that we're gonna get it right at every time. On getting healthy. Eat this, take this, do this. But yeah, there's not just the average guy that deals day to day with relationships, with family, with full-time jobs, and in this day and age, side hustles to get by.
Yeah.
On how to put the kids, how to put time aside for yourself so that you can be the men that we need for yourself and for your family and strength. So this is like you said, this is our journey. We wanted to do this a while ago, but I think we're at a place now where we have discipline pretty nailed down to where we can do this and actually and also know a couple things that worked for us that hopefully will work for some other people as well.
Right, bring value to the table. We don't want to be just two more people talking.
More two white people talking.
Yeah, well, that either. Yeah, absolutely. One brings a value, and if the value's not there, it's then why? I mean, but then I wrestle with that because it's a value to me. Like just even to interact and work with you.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It motivates me and keeps me going. And that's been our journey the last several years. Has been like pushing each other and challenging, even though we live a state away, or
two technically.
Yeah, technically.
You're right on the border. Well, that's been great too, as our brotherhood has like solidified. Like we talk every day, and our family, we haven't talked that much in the past, at some point. So, and we're progressive we're making progress in our talk. It's not just complaining about the world. We're actually doing something about how we want to change versus complaining about it.
Yeah. And that brings up a good point. Like I've been thinking a lot about where our world is currently, and I by all means don't intend to get political or whatever, but where the world is today, where it's like, okay, what can we do for ourselves? When things around us could be falling apart, when your world around you could be falling apart due to outside forces they can't handle, kind of thing. And so that's, I think, what we also desire to do, along with what you say, share what has worked for us and what we've known. And that leads us to the Countdown 2 podcast. And the origins of that is like, what has worked for us is to have short spurts of goals to achieve. And I mean, it's almost like a runner who was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. They get too much in their head. I can't go anymore. And so you start focusing on, oh, that tree right there. Okay, I'm going to run that tree and then stop. And then they get to that tree and it's like, oh, I got a little bit more. Okay, I can run to that garbage can and stop. I feel like that's kind of been our story, where it's just like, oh, let's just do these short spurts, goals here. This is what it takes to get that goal. So reverse engineer to achieve that goal. And so that's what I feel like is a big part of the origins of Countdown 2. And this is the podcast, but Countdown 2. And you want to introduce our first countdown?
Yeah, our first countdown, because we at the beginning we're like, all right, let's find a goal that we want to work towards. And I like how you use that analogy with a runner. That's what I do when I climb. While mountain biking is like, oh, let's just get to the next point. So our very first countdown was a countdown to Moab, to hit the whole enchilada and to be in shape to where we're not just surviving.
Can you tell me about the whole enchilada?
Yes, the whole enchilada is a group of trails in Moab. that is 28 miles long, about 1,200 feet of climbing, but 8,000 feet of descent, starting at about 12,000 feet.
That sounds really easy.
Very. We wanted to keep an attainable goal that was like, all right, even if we don't get in shape, we can still do this. But A, we didn't want to die on it.
Fat guys go downhill fast.
But also, like, we wanted to, there's some trails we can handle as mountain bikers, but we didn't want to just survive it. We wanted to thrive down it, like, and have so much fun doing it. So with schedules and timing, we finally have nailed down a date to hit Moab, and it's going to be coming up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's our first countdown. And while we talk about this, if anything we say kind of encourages or lights your fire, think about your countdown and what you could do and set up for yourself. Because again, that's our whole desire, is to not just do it ourselves, not have you join our journey, but us help you in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so I mean, it's downhill, but I mean, it's choppy, it's gnarly, it's rocky. It's a full body workout. And so, and it scares me. And I think it should. I think a goal like this should scare you too. So you do put in the extra work, to be able to achieve such a thing. And so this first chunk of episodes is based off of focusing on our trip to Moab in May.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we want to bring our listeners through is different episodes that of things that not only have helped us in the past, but we really need to hone in and own between now and then to be successful, and not just survive.
Yes.
Too often I've just survived and it's like, hey, I accomplished this and
did not die.
And I'm in bed for the rest of the month, because I destroyed my body.
Mm-hmm.
So like things of like, I think next episode we're talking about mindset, what we think, what we do, but even like intake, like what are we feeding us? I think I had a word for it. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
But even speak to fear, doubt, the things that stop us from actually doing it. And that could be the fear and doubt of like such a gnarly endeavor. Or, for others, it's, I'm this much overweight. There's no way I'm going to change this. Walking doesn't help, or in the mindset they're thinking it's not. Well, to start, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah. And you want to touch on episode 3?
I want to touch on episode 2.
Oh, touch on episode 2.
I'm
going fast.
And we started with mindset because it's the core of everything. Of like we're not cars with engines that run. Imagine like our minds can be trained to sabotage us, to hurt us, to tell us no, like, I can't do this, it's not attainable. Imagine a car having some mechanism in there. It's like, oh, this is gonna break.
Now we're bored with this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like driving that direction.
I can't go 600 miles today. And that, I mean, that I never knew just how important it was, but that is like the start of where we started to make some changes to where we can bounce off each other. We'll get into that deeper into the episode, but then after that, we want to talk about the importance of community and stacking goals. And if you want to know what the heck that means, you come listen.
Yeah. Well, first, real quick, has community helped you in this process? I'm leading.
Immensely.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it in the episode.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we got to wait and be patient.
Sorry.
A lion in here.
Thank you.
But yeah, goal stacking, that's a whole nother thing. It could mean a lot of things, but for us, it's very specific that we'll get into. Following that is not a topic I really enjoy. Is fuel.
Oh yeah,
fueling the body, and that's your jam. So you'll probably take a lot lead on that because I still have a lot to learn there. I hate counting.
I do too, but yeah,
I hate eating right. I mean, I eat right, but if I want to progress more, I need to eat better at certain times, certain calorie intakes, and all
Yeah.
the fun. It's right up there with trying to drink as much water as is necessary.
Well, and that's what's crazy is like most things I learned, it's just like that is not what I've ever heard. Or you hear all the misinformation on fuel. I'll share what worked for us. Like we'll dive into what has worked for us, and things we can progress on.
And and one thing I really want for myself to definitely own is for Moab, be on a trail for 8 hours. Like, what's proper fueling during?
Oh, we're bringing food.
Well,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, like, what's gonna work? Because I'm also one that like during workouts, if I eat certain things, like, man, I better find a restroom. And I mean,
That's
I'm
why
just
you
being
said
real.
you want to bring toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. And so I want to between now and then I want to hone that what works for my body.
Yeah.
And what is not going to cause issues on the trail. And athletes do it all the time where they are performing, so they're not going to, or they want the right fuel that's not it, or that's going to fuel them, but also not disrupt bodily functions and
right,
all that stuff. So that's
gut health.
I'm not looking forward to the episode, but I'm looking forward to the episode.
So fuel, yeah.
Well,
hey, you can learn.
Yeah.
So get excited about that. That's another mindset thing.
I'm so excited.
There
I'm
you
so
go.
excited.
Yeah.
This is my excited
Trick
face.
yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Episode 5, we're gonna actually be on site in Georgetown,
California,
not
university.
Yeah, not Washington D.C. because the idea there is we'll have our bikes. Georgetown's a big mountain bike destination.
It's up and coming right now.
Yeah, and so we're gonna check it out. We've never been there.
Yeah, never been there.
And so we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna ride, then we'll do an episode. It could be, I don't know what the topic is yet.
Yeah.
It'll be surprise. It's a surprise to me, surprise to you, surprise to the listener.
About riding, I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be fun regardless. Beautiful.
And then episode 6?
Talking about rest. There's been, I won't say who at this table, but there's been some people who just push through. And just kidding. It's me. But yeah, the importance of rest. Sometimes rest can be kind of scary and on taking it. So that we're gonna get into into that.
Absolutely. The importance of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this will lead us right up to Moab, to where that week before, or however long we deem we should rest, we'll do that right before Moab. We actually fly into Utah separately, or Salt Lake City, a couple of days before, and so we'll have time there. We'll actually cut an episode, and what we're going to dive in there, unless things change, but is the mindset. The non-mindset before the big trip, because exactly. I know that I'm going to be like, I'm not prepared, or tempted to feel that way. But so we'll dive into that, and then after
we ride it, we're gonna immediately finish the episode and just take our reflections, because that'll be a big moment for us, because it's been years in the coming, or years in the making.
Well, and celebrate as well.
Oh yeah,
I think that people don't celebrate enough accomplishments.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I made this accomplish, and it's like, yay, and then it's nothing. It's like, no way. Let's celebrate it. Could be from the hospital bed. I don't know, but
no.
I mean, no, it will not be from mindset, right?
Mindset. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I feel like a lot of sports, it's like winning is the only fun part. But with mountain biking, like we have so much fun while mountain biking. It is a hoot and hollering, like whoa, down the trail, speed blast, and you win when you make it down, regardless. And so yeah, when you said celebrating, the fun celebration. We plan on filming it too, and the ride, most of the ride, just the cool parts, which is all of it. So yeah, you'll have to we'll put it on YouTube and social media and stuff, and you can kind of follow along. And but yeah, regardless, we're gonna be seeing what a blast this is all gonna be.
Yep.
And then Moab is not the end on this countdown podcast. Like we have multiple countdowns for how far we want to go in life, and that's how we want to keep going.
Yeah.
With things.
Things we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it could, I mean, it may not always be centered around mountain bike. We just have a bucket list of certain areas we want to really ride and really be in shape for.
Yeah.
Sometimes my bucket list is not die.
Yeah. So that's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. So that's yes. Go ahead.
These are not all tools just for mountain biking. You know,
Yes.
tools for us to use for mountain biking. This is for any sport. This is for, you don't have to do a sport. We're not sports guys. Like, we're athletes now because we've gone through the ringer, but this is for fighting for your marriage, fighting for your family, fighting for your relationship. Something I didn't realize would happen in learning all this stuff is like how much in my personal life I can get done. My faith, my starting a family, working hard at work. It all comes together to like shaping life.
Mm-hmm.
We just also get to have fun mountain biking with it too. Like it helps with that. So something too that we're also going to talk about is that we both took different routes to get to where we want. I chose CrossFit. You did, regular gym stuff. I don't know if that's how you want to put it, but
boring.
And so we're going to talk about the differences of that too. But there's multiple ways to get there, and what we're going to be talking about is the root of it is the map to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, it translates to any outcome you want.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
you're trying to size down dresses to be fit for your wedding. It works. You want to get off the couch, start working out. We're going to talk on things that, regardless of where you're at in your journey, it's applicable.
Purpose.
Yep.
You're going to have purpose. You're going to feel like you have purpose.
So in that, we encourage you to find your own countdown.
Yes.
Start that. Share it. We have a Facebook page. We've got Instagram. Yeah. Chime in, share it. Let us join you in your journey.
And we'd love to talk to you about it. And community is and accountability is important. So let us be part of your community as you're going through your journey. This podcast is for you. Is for you guys to use. And we're excited to go along with your journey. We love hearing people's success stories. So
yeah. What we're getting to a point where we want to do a Q&A session. Being that we have 0 listeners because this is the pilot, I think we're going to ask each other a couple of questions.
Haley's already listening somehow. So.
Oh, good. Somebody's listening. All right. I'd say our mom's listening, but hopefully she gets airways in heaven. And then also what I like to do is if you ask a question to me, you also have to answer it for yourself.
Yeah, fair.
What's your question? Get it.
What was the turning point for where you finally woke up, your aha moment for, okay, I need to make a change?
I still have a picture, and I don't know if someday I think I'd share it. But I saw a picture, I think my wife shot a picture of my boy, and I was in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh gosh, who is that? Yeah. I wanted to turn around and be like, hug my wife and be like, oh, thank you for still being with me. Because both you and I are, or can be labeled as in the past as skinny fat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that term before, but it's like
Yes.
your frame's skinny, but you're getting the bulges, the love handles, all that stuff like that.
All of it's right there.
And here I was just like, I was slumped over.
Mhm.
I was in the kitchen. I was slumped over. So, that posture was horrible. Love handles galore, dad bod. And I think I was even in a hoodie. So it was like, that's even worse. Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't just a visual thing. You could see pain.
Yeah.
I deal with fibromyalgia and a lot worse in the past.
Oh, you're just like mom.
And your mom. Um,
It's dead.
and so yeah, so I mean, like, I don't want to live like that because I know my kid sees that. I mean, he's right at that ripe age. He's just like, oh yeah, daddy. I mean, like, he'll see a cane or stick, and he'll hold it like he's in a crutch, and he's like, and he's bent over, holding his bag, being like, oh, I'm daddy. I'm like, what the crap, man? Like,
And that was back then, right?
well, he'll still do it now just because that's what he,
Age. Yeah.
But I don't want that anymore. I want,
Right.
Because it was true. It was, it hurts to get on the ground with him, to wrestle, or to even play cars. Like, I'll lay down and then my shoulders are hurting and my back and all that stuff like that. And so, so from that point, two things. One, I'd try working out before and just get into a rhythm, but then get sick or hurt or my schedule changes and I just fall off the bandwagon. This time around, like, I was like, things need to change. And thankfully I had enough mindset to be like, I need people to help with this process. And some people are like, you need a coach. So, I went that route and which was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good to get the bases and stuff like that. But I needed a community in the same direction.
Yeah.
And thankfully, and I'll let you speak for yourself, but thankfully you were on board as well. And so so the question back to you is, what was your turning point?
My turning point was, so I've, ever since we started mountain biking and I was living up in Portland, like, I was exercising. I wasn't lifting, but I was running a lot. And the person I was with was a runner, and so we would just do that. And wasn't making any progress. I'd quit or whatever, but the whole time I was drinking, like alcoholic drinking. And yeah, my eyes are up here, buddy. I'm talking to you.
I'm up here.
Anyways, so I wasn't really making any progress, but also I was just dead inside. Like, I was going through depression. I was years of depression, years of hurting, and I was hiding it from everyone, including
You're in the
you.
Pacific Northwest. Of course you're depressed.
I was depressed in California too.
Oh, wow. Okay, there's that.
And that was a while ago. And so, like, I would start, that was the thing. I feel like we would start all the time and quit, start and fail. And I feel like that happens a lot with people. And that's another thing that we're going to get with this is, like, how we kept going, what we found to keep it going. And also to not, oh, I took a couple days off, so why even start back up? It's like, no, keep going. Anyways, so fast forward years, I had worked on my depression a lot. I was going through therapy, but I just still was drinking and couldn't quit that. And it was killing my relationships and it was killing me. And then finally I woke up and I was like, dude, if I don't make a change, I'm going to die. Like, either health wise or I'd already been dead to myself. There was no light on, there was no spark. And then about a month later, it was my 30th birthday. And Braden Binghurst did the whole enchilada in reverse. He climbed it, and that video came out on my 30th birthday. And so I watched it, and he it's like an hour and a half movie about how he did it, like mental. And that's what really got the gears changing, and it something finally excited me to make a change. But dude, I was dead. I was dead inside. Like, I didn't know how dead I was until how alive I became. So being, what's that?
Funny how that is.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just like, you don't know how bad something is until you you live in the good. Um, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, to be able to share and help some people. But that aha moment finally of like, I don't care how long it takes, I'm gonna do it. But before, I would do it alone because I'm not letting anyone down except myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the mindset back then was, am I letting myself down by going back to drinking what I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I would do it all in hiding. And so this is how where community comes through, where accountability comes through. Just keep going and excite you, and be excited for what's coming, because you're gonna, it's not about how you look. It's not about, you know, we still have some areas we want to work on. It's not about, so many people, yeah, focus on how you look. It's like, you're gonna feel amazing. You're gonna be driven. You're gonna be excited. You're gonna be pumped about the hard things, and then you're gonna, those accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be able to nail things you never even thought possible.
Yeah.
That's what's huge.
Yeah.
That's what's so exciting about this, and I'm stoked for everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
And with this goal oriented of the countdown, this is how we stay hungry. All right, what's next? What can we accomplish next? And it doesn't get tiring. It just gets more exciting. You're not like, oh, something else I have to do. It's like, no, I have this drive. Let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps us hungry. So come eat with us.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, and you bring up two good points. One is, so I'm part of a community group that, or a group of community that really speaks to like non-scale victories.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's like, you know, I'll hear all the time where it's just like, hey, yeah, checking in, I didn't lose any weight, but I tell you, I've got so many non-scale victories of like, I feel great.
Oh yeah,
I have energy. I'm able to do this. And these are just normal people that, you know, decided to make those changes. And the second one, I already forgot, so I can't speak to that anymore.
Great.
I had 2 points. One went away.
I love the second one.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Whatever you said, I was going to say something to, you know, compliment that, but it's, so I'm not going to compliment
I don't need you to. Because I know it was great.
it.
Because confident.
Boom. There you are. So my question to you would be, so in your journey with the transition and over the last 3 years, what saying or phrase or something to that nature that has given you a lot of mileage? You know, whether it's been like, you know, an inspiring quote or a, you know, what gets you pumped.
Me.
Whenever I look in the mirror.
No.
I mean, I could go first if that will help you prompt, because I don't know if I asked the question
You did not,
that
no.
well.
Oh no. So yeah, I don't know if like I'll read something like, yeah, I'm gonna go get it. Like a lot of things that'll fuel me. Because even at the beginning of this, I was still kind of drinking, and like, you know, and I was going through a hard time. Like my relationship had ended, and I had to keep pushing. And one thing that would motivate me so much in the mornings was waking up with the sun, the sunshine, and just putting on like pop punk music. And like it drove me like, let's get stoked for today. And the lyrics are angry, so I can let out some of my aggression and pain. But I'm like, let's go, and that kind of set the tone for the whole day. And then when I couldn't keep going, I'd get around my community side to keep me going, and I'd be stoked to be around, like, all right, I'm around my fellow athletes they want me to succeed as much as I want them to succeed. We're gonna be kind of dicks to each other in a fun way, and let's go. And then day after day after day after day, and then it just became a discipline and a habit. So I don't know, like I'm sure there's some quotes out there that pump me up. My coach talks a lot, and encourages a lot. So I'm sure there's something there, but that when you first said that the music side, to get me moving. That's what I immediately thought of.
Copy. Okay. I probably asked the question wrong.
Probably.
That's okay.
But that doesn't mean what I said wasn't wise.
No, absolutely no. It's spot on. So
what about
I mean, for me, I mean, like, so if if I ask the question correct, where it's just like,
I feel like there was a little undertone of if you actually understood what I was saying.
no. It's just coming off wrong on my end. I'll own that one.
Good.
And I'll let you on the next one, even if you don't want to. Okay. There's always, I don't know. For me, there's just like, because I'll have setback after setback, whether I just, hurt myself, get sick. I've got a bad back that I deal with daily. And so something I've gotten a lot of mileage out of. And the reason I bring this up is so that if somebody else hears this, they go, oh, I like that, and can use it for themselves. Definitely one for me is control what you can control. So there's so often times where, like, the day's not right, the day's not perfect. I wake up wrong or hurt or whatever the case may be. And it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to take a rest day today.
Oh, yeah, totally. Rest for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'll just be like, no, there's things I can control. I can't control my back pain. I can't control whatever it is that's derailing my workout for the day or whatever the case may be. What can I control? Oh, I can control this. Oh, I can do this that doesn't aggravate my back. It's totally different than the workout I had planned, but it's still working out. And it could even be just a simple walk.
Right.
Even though that hurts my back. But just things of that nature. Seriously.
I'm sorry.
It's bad. But I mean, just anything too with the mind. Like, I like David Goggins. I think you've heard of him.
Is that something about boats and hose? Oh, boats and logs. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Gotta carry the boats, gotta carry the logs.
Oh, something like that.
Trees or something. Anyway.
Ex-Navy SEAL, ex-crazy guy, ex-ultra. Well, I think he still does ultra. Ultra marathons or whatever. But anyway, something I've gotten a lot of use out of is he's got a quote, and I might botch it, which I apologize for. But he says, the human body can handle a hell of a lot more than we think, and it all ends and begins in the mind. And man, with my body, with fibromyalgia, with back issues and stuff like that, like you said earlier, our brains are wired to protect us, which is good. It's the same mechanism that's like, hey, don't get too close to that cliff. You might fall off. But it also can be against us in the sense where it's just like, oh, you're hurting. Take a rest, And so I'll just speak to myself, will listen to it too often. Oh yeah, I better taper it down or not go too hard and stuff like that. But the times I remember that quote and I'll push myself through, it's like, oh, wow, like I'll be running and my knees start bothering me and burning because I'm old.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to my knee like out loud. I'll be like, hey, knee, you're all right. You're cool. Relax. And it's amazing how it's just like, all of a sudden I'll just start flow.
Yeah.
It's almost like the speed wobbles, which we can get into mindset as well. But those two things definitely get a lot of mileage in my mind.
So. That's perfect. And I have a lot to add to that.
No, you had your chance
on my own, but I'm going to save it for the mindset episode. I want to invite you guys to join us as we join your journey.
Look how you look at the camera. I'd like to invite you guys.
I'm talking to them.
Join us on our journey.
I'm not talking to you. I don't want you to join my journey.
Tyler, join our journey and enjoy it.
And subscribe. And we'll have Instagram. We'll have some YouTube footage as well. And yeah, we can do this together. And next week we'll be talking about mindset.
Woohoo!
We'll go from there and
power of the mind,
and get this going. So in the meantime, be thinking about your countdown,
your journey.
Make it small. Make it, I want to walk every day or 3 times a day or something like that. Make it, and that might be really hard for you. I'm not at all putting it down, but like that is a start. So go freaking do it. And then the next week we have the rest of our lives. So start small, start bad, and it'll get stronger and stronger and stronger. So let's go, baby.
Yes.